music. Oh yeah.
Right. So, I'm still not in there yet. Hold on.
You're fine.
I was listening to you.
Oh, to me? Huh.
I was. Okay. Okay, so it just started, right? That's where we left off at?
Yeah, it's on juror number 1.
Okay. I don't remember what he sounds like, so...
Well, improvise.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it had to have been him. Sounds like the scientist from 2-3.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, his face is totally 20 pace.
Hold on, I'm gonna put on my little wrist brace, because it hurt, so... Give me a second.
Uh-oh.
It's actually really hurting. He stuck the chart right next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Oh, I was her too. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion.
You can trust the guild. They're fast. It's our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for ye.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor, it beggars belief.
Big if true. Not gonna lie. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderful formed arguments, though, do they?
I mean, they're the public gallery. What are you gonna expect from that?
They weren't ready for this, do you remember? They're all just like, what?
They're scared. They're like, I didn't
have to do this.
This wasn't in the paper. This wasn't in the mail. Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh? I thought I was gonna have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says.
But then...
They've reached their conclusion by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entranced they may become.
Entrenched.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Girl, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then? Right?
And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just reading the book. He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Literally, I'm just doing my job.
Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the juror are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united form, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. Big slaps. I have to pull this off. What are we pulling off?
We're pitting them against each other. Have we start proceedings, counsel?
But to say, he sounds a little more deader than that.
Say, here to take the stand for this. Expected a clear and concise, rebuttal.
Can someone get this man a Ricola? Yes, my lord.
I have a scratchy throat, my bad.
Dang, it must be, you know. Oh god, he's coughing.
Oh!
Where's Ryunosuke, sexy man?
He's holding, Karuma as well, though.
It's like, really holding on to him. I guess we can just press them.
Okay, we're going to press.
Yeah, look at that boy. Certainly, the testimonies before suggest the victim and Mr. McGilded were alone inside the carriage. Precisely my point. But, could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet? Such as? Well, perhaps that's something we could, all work out together? Now listen here. Maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we're here to form our opinions as individuals, and I have. Ugh.
Oh, oh gosh, I almost choked on my spit there.
Oh dear. He doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he?
No, I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another, like Susato-san said. Finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm going to succeed. Yeah, well, we can still talk to them. But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is?
I manage all of his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts.
I see.
A single penny can mean the difference between life and death, after all, can't it?
That's a saying in your country?
My point is, a man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to that, sir.
Does that bench really need any more polishing? He's right.
So if the good driver says that he saw Mr. McGilded in the act, I don't doubt him. The only task left to do today is disposing of the rubbish.
Now wait a minute. One of the other jurors mentioned something about money, I think.
Now, would it be a very good time to listen carefully to the jurors' statements again, Mr. Naruhodo? You notice an inconsistency in what 2 different jurors are saying.
I should expose it by pitting them against each other. Yes, let's see if I can do just that. Not yet. Give me a little patience, please. Careful! You could hurt someone with that. Listen, alright? Don't worry about that. You're a fine with a talk. What is that sword hanging from your waist, huh? No, that's just my battered soul.
Oh my god.
Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. You're all the same. It's all stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes. You mark my words. That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? Are you mad, man? I know that small shorty's a rotten Shylock. Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but... Hold on.
Mr. Naruhodo, please, be careful of what you say.
If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us less fortunate, then as far as I'm concerned, he's as guilty as sin. That man can hang! Come to think of it, Didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhand activities?
If you thought of something, Mr. Naruhodo, don't let it go. Test your theory.
They're begging, literally begging for you to pit them. Stop talking to them and just pit them together. Pit the two jurors whose statements seem to be contradictory against each other? No time like the present to use to use triangle.
I'm gonna have to use the slay button.
Go on, partner. Hit the slay button. Rest in peace, Kazuma. What have you been doing all this time? What have you been doing all this time? There. I should have thought it was obvious. I'm recording everything that takes place as part of these proceedings. And what have you learned from that? For example, at this moment in time, the judge has used his gavel 11 times in total. The prosecution has snorted derisively at your remarks 7 times in total. Bro, do you think he likes me? And might I add, each time you have gulped like a simpleton. Thank you. And that, what's the point exactly? So anyway, madam, are you able to explain why you think the defendant is guilty? That is a conclusion I have drawn as a result of the copious notes I have typed. Clearly, but I'm asking you to explain why you've drawn that conclusion. Please don't distract me. It makes it extremely hard to concentrate on my note-keeping. This is going nowhere. I like how Rinosuke's been insulted 7 times apparently.
Yeah.
I'll take what I can get, you know? That's how much it takes to take the omnibus? Costs?
That's right. As the guild master, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. One fare no matter which bus you take or how far you go. We have to compete for the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together.
Motor cars, you say?
Automobiles aren't a thing just yet.
I think that's only like a really rich person thing. At this point in time.
This murder on one of our buses is extremely damaging to our cars. It's beyond the pale. I'll lead to the decline in passengers. You mark my words. It's all that rascal's fault. He has to pay.
Is it the crime or his buses you're more worried about?
Anyway, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says he saw him do it, that fella in the dock is as guilty as sin.
Make sure you'll say that word wrong. Alright, Miss Stang. Let's talk to her. I really think you should stop waving that needle around. You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? Hideous man stabbed the poor fellow, just like this. Yes, that is what he said, you're right. The Gilded Park is such a lovely little place, too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on with my knitting. And I had thought that anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong. Whoever would have thought he was a miserable murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse? Oh help. She's as sure can be that he's guilty now.
The old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she?
I love how Rinosuke is just like, help.
He's like, oh help.
Susato says, that's not me. Becky?
Wait.
Wait!
Yeah, wait, did you read all this? Oh, okay, I see. It didn't switch to her, so I'm like, is this her dialogue or his?
That's why I said Susato says, so.
Okay, why did it switch to her? That's interesting.
Which is much easier said than done.
I accidentally went forward a bit because I was like, wait,
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
I got to the part where it says.
Oh,
"Which is
I
much
see, I see.
easier
He was
than
think.
done."
Okay. I thought it was a mistake.
Okay, okay.
Is that perhaps what you've been thinking?
She was saying it off screen
Yeah.
as Ryunosuke was like fumbling in his brain.
How did you know?
Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in just such a situation. Shall I read you what I found out?
What?
It's a little long, I'm afraid.
Not right now.
Wait, no, what is this? Is this like what we have to do again?
Yeah, I think it's a little tutorial, like reminding you, like, this is what you gotta do.
If I have to rely on advice right from the start, how will I get on later? Oh. No, I need to work this out for myself now. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking?
How did you know?
Well, that sort of attitude is more admirable, Mr. Naruhodo.
I know what I have to do. Let's listen to those assertions one more time. Okay, time to pit. I think it was 2?
She talked about the 20 pence, and then
Yes. Yeah,
your
and then
boy
the...
over here
Yeah.
raised prices for the four pence per year, right?
Yeah. So
Then
let's
only
just...
she's talking about money, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They do?
What? Space council.
Me? I do. What have I said?
I swear on Silver Blaze's main and name. I haven't the first idea what you're talking about.
It's time to sexualize Ryunosuke.
Oh my god, he has like his waist.
Listen, anyway.
Here we go
According
again.
to the group testimony you've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus at the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. I almost give it the old lady voice. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence.
That is fair and convenient. Single price. Just the way London's carriages should be operated.
But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts.
Why, man, why?
4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication... Wait, we're doing math in the courtroom?
16 pence.
Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
I like the little stance here.
He's so confident in himself. Love that guy.
1 person's fare.
I want to put Ryunosuke in a little handbag and carry him around. Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible that there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Yeah, point that finger.
Good gracious! This can't be right! The coachman of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword.
The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon?
Beg this. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news would surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Exclamation point!
Alright then, how do I make it so this miserable child doesn't end,
Girl, did you ever have the page open?
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales.
Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go in?
Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo!
Yo, Beppo's in danger. You better watch out.
Beppo deserves it. Beppo's been doing a...
Honestly, get him.
Beppo be stealing, bro.
This is all very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir, I'm going to do the same.
Yes.
Nice.
How does the judge not flinch for that? He has to be deaf from that as well. For the love of Mike, not you as well.
Something happened when I was doing the stream here, when he said for the love of Mike, and I don't remember what it was exactly. I just recall something happening, I don't know what.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't allow my
my brain. Hold on, my brain died. Hold on.
Rebooting.
Rebooting! I have to reread the whole thing. Hold on, my brain.
I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witness again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto, you did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
2 more. Actually, there is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
Then that's where you must strike next.
So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's other contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it!
Susato, get out of my brain!
Sato, bro. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they were way heavy on the side of guilt. Count, you have the floor again. Continue with your examination.
Alright.
Drop that beat, sir!
I'm changing my leaning to innocent. I should like to hear with the slop.
Oh my god.
The slipshod a bookkeeper has to say for himself.
Time for Knife Boy and the old woman, I think, right? Yeah.
What did he say?
Talking about how he stabbed him.
Right.
And Six said,
They're
he stabbed him on the
stabbies.
floor. Yeah.
He stepped, yeah, it's like he stepped next. I'm like, wait, he's on the floor now? I remember having a problem with that.
Those 2 statements are completely contradictory.
What? Explain, counsel, post haste.
Explain, counsel, prostate. Oh, dearie me! I was only to take a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? Honestly? We have heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you see that I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Want to test me, do you? He's gonna, like, hurt juror number 4. It was just like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, just like the prim banker said.
Yes, that's what Mr. Fairbank's testimony. Quite true.
Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, it's not me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move! Take a look at these two drawers. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. My drawers. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never. Stabbed it completely. Hold on. They're stabbing in totally different directions.
Totally!
What? Bless my stitches! What a muddle!
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh!
Well, why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies.
Yes, Granny, let's go.
Thank you, Granny.
The scales!
I don't believe it.
That stance. The lean. Who's holding? Hold these. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you. You cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's... Oh, Jesus. How many times are they talking about the Eastern sorcery?
That got me laughing. What do you mean, Eastern sorcery?
He's clearly using some devious... What? He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcery using his magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx! Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you.
Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
Uh-oh.
They're ready to kill each other now.
Well.
I would let it happen. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see different moments of the same crime? It's possible. Not.
No, I picked it's possible, actually. I want to see the dialogue, sorry.
Okay, are you good?
Did I read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Okay. It's true. There's an outside chance of almost anything you care to mention. Exactly the point I've been trying to make.
Before you go any further, Mr. Naruhodo,
Oh, what is it, Miss Susato?
I think you should have a look through the court record.
Ah,
You see, this evidence makes it quite clear. There isn't even an outside chance of what the juror is saying.
how did I miss that?
Well,
Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. Okay, I think you can go. I stopped at what is the Dark Jinx?
Yeah. What is it, Dark Jinx? What is it, you Dark Jinx? Come out with it! What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. Oh, I got your proof right here, buddy. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. Well, I'll give you the proof. It's right here.
Yep.
It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by Becky. Do you know? Becky, do you know?
Do I know?
Do you know?
No, I don't remember any of this.
Ah! Maybe you should read the evidence descriptions.
What? Wait, this is not my playthrough.
You wouldn't help me if I was stuck.
Anyways, he has a single stab wound to the abdomen.
Yes. Take that.
Take
This
it.
is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once. Only once.
Autopsy doesn't lie, baby.
Hey, we've updated the autopsy report. It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen 2 different times.
I don't know how they got that out of, like, everything that was said, but they weren't listening.
Don't worry about it. Alright, I concede defeat. I admire him for that, to be honest. He's like, yeah, I'm wrong.
We did it!
Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty.
You've done it, Mr. Naruhodo! We won!
Susato!
Susato!
She cute. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take the razor sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber.
Barber? What?
I guess because he's trying to shave his head. I don't know. Bald.
I don't know, I started licking
Bald.
it. Oh.
Doesn't your barber do that? Sus.
A quite remarkable turn of events. The defense's summonation examinations flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand of 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjust the word. The trial must continue.
Damn, he got away with words, I'll tell you what. Love him or hate him, he's speaking the truth.
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. I should have gave him like a British accent from the beginning. I mean, we are in London.
We are.
Lord Van Zeeks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please.
I have something to say, Your Honor. How about you substantiate these?
That was way too
Don't make that noise. No.
Let me see.
He's taking in the dulcet tones, he's gonna hold it up to his ear and hear the wine, okay?
What the?
After all that, I hate him.
Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of the hallowed chalice. It may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray, forgive the discourtesy.
Right. Plumhouse wig is off kilter over that, like...
I felt it, I know.
Is it cold in here? Is it just me?
I must be some clovers in the atmosphere.
true.
As you're acquainted too, no doubt says the prosecution may not speak during a summonation examination, though I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There's
be upset
nothing
all these
so hard to
motherfuckers.
prove as a self-evident truth it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? Oh, so, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Uh-oh, he's gonna do it!
God.
Bring forth the witness once more!
Hubba wubba wumba gumba. Awooga awooga.
What's happening? What's going
Milky
on?
Milky.
Witnesses! I trust you heard the summonation examination we have just had to, wouldn't there? Yes, sir. That I did, sir. Of course I heard it.
How could he have not?
Oh, yes, sir, I heard it.
You, sir, on the end. The coachman, I believe it's Beppo. Yes, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you attempted to violate the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh me Dio. Oh.
Sounded kind of sexual. I don't know why.
No! Oh my
He
god.
said,
We need to stop. Now then, oh sorry, this is my normal voice. Hold on. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain? You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summonation examination.
oh, okay. I like I know what I have anything to say about that.
They're like, I'm done playing, please. Oh, we're not done yet. Careful passengers, I swear, but, well, I, for one, was told to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He fiddled us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
I tell you, I saw Miguel stab that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, you did. I think so, yes.
See, I
eyes
think-
aren't even open.
Beppo can't see shit.
Counsel,
He's shaking
make
too much,
sense of
too.
this for me, please. Phantom's fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed.
But, like, do you want to be more than
She
friends?
has arisen from the coachman's sly little
Uh-oh. Hold on.
consonage. Yes.
Hold on. Hold on.
Yes.
It's loading.
Took up a whole club silent.
That's him looking it up how to say it, to be honest.
Hold on, I'm getting out my
He's using his
Give me
MacBook Pro.
Give me a second. The
Consonage.
oh, I said it right.
You did.
Little sly consonage. Oh! Beppo, explain yourself. Sorry, killed Master.
He got
His
Killer
eyes.
Lies, though. Look at him.
The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? Then Beppo's stealing.
Damn.
It's so cold. That's the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. Your selfish actions have brought dishonor on our entire guild.
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
10?
Damn.
Beppo! What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence.
I've done the arithmetic.
Arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently.
No. Oh.
No, that figures.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel of the defense, show cross-examination, if you please.
Please, these.
You've already had the pleasure of a protracted examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games.
I mean, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounded a little sexual.
Yes, sir,
Well,
please bully me more.
I guess we're pressing.
Yeah, I don't remember the next steps here.
I don't either.
So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare? Is that right?
It's impossible to make the last run of the day for pay. I was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself passing out.
I'm getting
My voice cracked.
chilblains just listening to you. Yeah, I heard the voice crack.
I was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. I'm trying to get his voice down. Oh my god. Can somebody like get him hot cocoa? Like, this man's freezing.
Right.
His breath. Just doesn't dedicated coach serve an extra ready passenger?
You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night. Now we would have another suspect. Oh, are you sleeping over there, big boy? Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4?
Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir.
And I just told you that I did. A flat fare of 5 pence across the board?
It's not something to be proud of.
The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed is gone, dead and buried.
I'm sure he knows somebody who is very dead and buried. I'd have been happy if it never existed in the first place. Fiddle this. This blood-curdling sight? You mean the murder, I presume?
Yes, sir. Why is everyone shaking their head?
An lonesome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken.
Oh, well, not exactly, sir.
I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed.
Good gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker had already testified to it.
But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. I heard the banker jet next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see, and that's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking up from his belly, all covered in blood. Oh, every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating. Okay. So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him?
That's what I said, isn't it?
It was bothering me before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question.
Anyway, there was only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of its fifth passenger, but as yet, zero evidence.
Literally, bro, he's the
Then what are
only
you
one
wasting
bringing
your
it up.
time doing, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty.
He's the only one bringing it up again. Rios hasn't said anything yet. Like, come on, give me a second. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was.
He stabbed him.
Yeah.
Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip. Oh, right. I remember now.
I suppose I might have, you know, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this?
Uwu?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
Fairplay keeps moving his head. You see it? That's when I turned around. Yes.
Oh,
yes,
who?
I saw
Oh,
it.
Fairplay. Yes, I saw it.
Starlight. The gentleman on the floor, and the knife was sticking out of his midriff. That's right. Yes, the fellow holding the hand was the famous man. Yes.
So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all?
Then how can he? I really thought that I did, but when I let go, I'm trying to get his voice down. I keep forgetting I did. When I could go over to get in my head, you know, I suppose I didn't quite see. There's
Nandato!
stabbing to die. Nandato!
What's up, baby? What's going on?
I remember when that scared me. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because it's so sudden.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay?
Now you listen to me. I remember this very well. Now listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are those chances of that? Eh?
Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Some days are like that!
Jesus.
It just be like that sometimes.
I'm gonna put that. You don't have to. I want to, though.
Okay.
Unless you want to. Are you gonna do some days are like that?
Yeah, let's do Sundays I like that. Well, I suppose some days are like that. Sooner or later you'll see something you wish you hadn't. You're always sweeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus.
Ryunosuke, this does not happen.
That's a little manipulative.
He's just like peeping. I'm a respectable city banker. I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it was clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you.
Tell me.
Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot on the collar there, my lord.
I get it.
You
Looking
get
at the
that right there,
prosecution
thank you.
stand, you can't help it.
You're right. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that, alright. I'll tell you just how grim it was.
Grim Fandango.
Did you know that I'd forgot the sight of those blood-soaked hands? After that butcher stabbed the man? Didn't we present gloves when he said his hand?
Yeah, I just did that.
Okay.
Speed run. Blood.
I accidentally went. No, I went further, so it's, he's saying not long ago the trial nearly came to an end. So we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring out new facts to light.
If you're not careful when you press those witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful, as they did before.
Maybe, but we can't let the fear of what happening stop us from uncovering the important new information.
Yes, you're so right.
I need to pay careful attention here. Didn't want to miss even a flicker of a new reaction amongst the new.
Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason.
Alright, accidentally, yeah.
No, you're good. Oh, just let me know when you did it, by the way.
I did. I'm sorry. I was getting there.
Okay, because I just realized, like, I didn't tell her to tell me anything.
Oh, I was like, I know, I was getting there.
Blood-soaked hands?
Well, I admit the soaked might be lying in a little thick, but anyway, there are definitely blood all over them, both of them covered in it.
Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. Your little smile? Little smile's cute.
What? Right?
Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGill, did on the night in question.
Oh, yes, right.
And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But as far... I'm sure you can clearly see. It's only on the right-hand glove. Oh, he munching. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent.
Yeah, but no, that can't be right.
So you're the liar here, then?
Fairplay chewing on his cane makes you think of my shoulders.
Oh no.
It's the noises they make. That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands.
God.
Grr.
This keeps making a lot of grr noises.
You gotta, that's the experience. You gotta grr, you gotta arg, you gotta you know? Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying.
It's
yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only one. The fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
I don't know, man. No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands. Which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court.
Why? I'm a shitty banker, for Pete's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snake under upstanding members of society doesn't prevaricate.
Prevaricate. Or recite. Anyway, he's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case?
Mr. Holder, if we have some evidence to explain Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide to this in this trial completely.
Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. The problem is, I don't remember if you have to look at the debtor's ledger or not.
Let's look at the ledger real quick.
Yeah, because I know sometimes.
Yeah, we have to. We didn't find out that his name's in there yet.
No, you need to unlock it. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets from London's gentry.
Oh dear, do you really think we ought to look inside?
Well, it's not as though we know of any London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder... Susato a little too shocked. Yeah.
I assure you will not find Mr. Solmes' name inside.
Well, let's see what we find. Oh, I thought Ryunosuke was saying gosh.
Oh, gentleman's name, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is a well-off.
Goodness!
OMG!
What is it?
Look at this! Do you see the name here?
Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me?
Oh my god.
It does sound strangely familiar, actually.
Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment.
Oh, yes, of course! The banker!
Oh,
Why is his name in here? He borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching.
Is it possible that this is just coincidence? Of course. But this could be very useful information.
Listen, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Listen, Ryunosuke is a little goofy, so... What are you gonna do about that?
Evidence.
My lord!
Yes, counsel.
The defense is ready to present evidence.
By Jove, are you sure?
Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony. Garg, you gotta like...
There you go. Very well. I hereby call for the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Yeah, I got your evidence right here, buddy. This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilden.
Debtors? Debtors?
Debtors.
Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused's extortion.
Not to blorbo him, but when he looks up, he looks so melancholy, you know? I like it. Anyway, the point is, among the names of the debtors is your name. Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
What? Mr. Fairplay! Are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No. Well, it's barely worth of being called a debt.
According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? You gotta be like, Arga, you know?
Well, watch out, friend.
Let's suppose Mr. McGilden were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case?
Well,
Bum 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 bum. If only the judge wasn't asleep, you know? I wish he was awake.
Hold on, I'm reading.
I miss the judge.
These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, the defendant here be sentenced to capital punishment. An outstanding debt which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Cease to exist?
Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw? In a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant. I thought he was asking a question. I expected a question mark, and there wasn't one. Man, oh man.
Order! Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes. Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust his knife into the victim?
Oh, he's shimmying. Huh? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony.
Alright! Now, let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch?
A pinch?
But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilden's hands, both of them.
What are you objecting? You don't have to yell. And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves which you have here as evidence is stained.
So you keep saying... First?
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir?
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, damn. Fairplay just staring daggers into him.
I know.
Well, the thing is, I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? Blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think... yes. I'm almost sure that there was blood on both of his hands, not just one. What? What? Yeah, bend over, huh?
Sato.
Oh my god, get up!
It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all of you witnesses. This time I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
Crystal, baby.
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at least. Or at last.
Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Yeah, let's get this done.
Let's do this again.
But what if I have to go potty?
Go pee.
I don't actually. I was just saying hypothetically.
Well. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters.
It kind of does, but whatever. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them. I didn't see shit.
I didn't see anything myself. No. Look at I heard the scream. Anyway, the fact remains that can't have been anyone else inside the carriage. Or well, we all would have seen. It's funny that the one that they saw with blood on their hands was actually Gino.
Spoiler! You're right.
Spoilers!
Oh my god.
Well, lo and behold, despite the fact no one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was Yeah, I didn't read the word, but it's okay. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it.
That's really not what testimony is about. Oh!
Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more.
That is blood on the seat.
The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat. Corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case.
Okay.
Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Alright. Alright. No! The evidence tells us otherwise! We have the gloves that the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record.
I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know that I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands.
He's defiant even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw. Why?
Your reasoning is dire.
Exclamation
One had
point.
two. The salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers.
Yeah. He's sleeping. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance as well, you know.
But, crying out loud, we all know that no one else could have possibly have done it. I just trying to save us all some time.
You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? How do you hope to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty?
That's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse into the derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing.
The old Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
A little guinea or 10?
He said guinea or 10. I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. Well,
I'm
supposed to borrow money from the bank?
Listen, don't worry about it.
Work on. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. This witness's scruples
Scruples?
are not on trial here.
Man, he only defended. I bet he got a horse in the race, too.
Proceed to the next witness.
Is that really how it's supposed to work? You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands? Oh, yes! I forgot that was me.
Yeah,
I
too.
mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilded's glove had any signs of blood on it. Hand.
That's right.
The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilded sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
So we're dealing with the fifth passenger. This is why they kept saying, I didn't see gloves.
The phantom passenger.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct, sir. And I saw blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. Oh, yes! It's the curve of his bicep.
I should point out that
You can put me in a headlock and kill Mike.
I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there were no trace of blood on Mr. McGilded's gloved hands.
There wasn't blood on his hands?
This is puzzling indeed.
This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it.
Oh, Beppo.
You didn't see anything?
Beppo didn't see shit.
I didn't see shit, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about that. I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories to say I saw him stab the man. That's what I mean, it's perjury.
Who are you looking at, boy?
Would you agree, sir? I
He
know
looks
it's
around.
cheating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories.
Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it?
No, sir, I saw nothing at all.
Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must enjoy a good view of London streets, no?
She's just like,
Oh, please. You didn't even see that?
It was so cold that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights.
What are you trying to say?
Beppo!
Oh my god. Everyone's got it out for Beppo, man. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus?
That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh yes, I remember I was shivering, it was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place.
Why does he sound like that?
Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Why does it sound like that? His voice changed.
Oh,
My voice is getting tired.
not.
This is happening.
I see. I think like to be continued's coming up, so we can
Yeah.
stop
It
there.
was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
It was locked.
That's right, and it was a public bus service, for Pete's sakes. That's not what I call fair play.
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I can assure you that I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring long and hard.
I
That's
see.
precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence. If there were anyone else on that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal.
Unequivocal, I think.
Unequivocal.
Now hold on. No. We got a source.
Unequivocally.
Unequivoc. Oh, I don't know why she says unequivocally.
Unequivocal, I would say.
What does that mean?
There we go.
What does that word mean anyway? What the fuck did he just say? What does that mean?
Oh, it's unequivocal.
In a way that leaves no doubt. Okay?
Ah.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? No.
No,
No, they can't.
actually, no.
Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you.
What?
What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Object these!
Oh boy.
We're not friends, okay?
A nice hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend.
Okay, but hypothetically, Lord Van
Prosecution
Zeeks,
The
if like we
prosecution
kissed right now,
demands
how would that
you
make you feel?
substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Get up there and show us, my friend.
The kissing?
Very well, I will oppose the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area of this sectional plan of the omnibus.
Wait, me? It was the prosecution who brought it up. Why do I have
Right.
to do it?
Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that the potential extra passenger could have been situated? No,
I think he would be
actually,
sitting right
Renosuke
here.
did bring up. He's just like, there could be a fifth passenger in there now, and they're just like, what?
Oh, I know
where?
he bought the fifth passenger, but it was Van Zeeks who was like, hey, bring up the omnibus. So, like, why do I have to do it, It's fine. He wants to see me talk and point around. I get it. He's playing hard to get, It's fine. Both rows of seats on the roof face the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here.
Oh, he's drawing. Ah,
Is that anime? That's right, my lord.
are you drawing hentai?
No, it's my persona.
Cringe. Yo, you're cringe!
You're cringe. The seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Gariga, just standing there.
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. Your Nipponese have a forbid.
What's wrong, Becky? I didn't say anything. What's going on?
You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity.
Question mark?
Question mark. You said some words and was like, what did I say in my sentence?
Listen, he's speaking, he's looking at his script, but it's like smudged writing on the back of his hand. So he's like, I don't know what that word says.
I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. Rejoinder. In a British court of law,
Rejoinder? I barely know her.
I cannot. Give me a second. I cannot entertain this conjecture, Counsel. There is, unless you're able to put a name on this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
Can you, Mr. Naruto?
No.
I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which is out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck?
I haven't an inkling.
I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. I gotta get the drink out for this.
Let me pop up.
One shot of vodka.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Excuse me. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. Limitations? Jesus. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Okay, I don't have a chalice to toast with, so you know, it's just. I just not to their counsel. The defense is still to the name of the passenger in the other seat.
I had water. I was thirsty. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor.
You're not scared. Who's the person? You say?
On the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus that was obscured from view was... Well, I mean...
It was definitely McGilded.
It had to have been McGilded, dude. The passenger in the enclosed cabin...
Fairplay is still looking like right. No, I'm sorry. His right, our left. In his picture, he just cannot.
I'm telling you, he's looking away so that he doesn't have to look at a man. It's gay.
It was definitely McGilded, you silly, because there's another person here, and
man, 32, huh?
I just looked at him too. Don't
My
worry
brother.
about it.
Had to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. He sounds like that now.
Oh. What are you talking about, Counsel? What's the name of the defendant? Or sorry, that's the name of the defendant.
Oh, he mixing his wine over there.
Oh, damn.
God, I love it.
Oh. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. He's mad. Wolfhead
Right.
Sinch! People talk to those tiny island nations of the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly.
A little racist, but I could fix him. What are you trying
What
to
are
say?
you talking about?
What are you trying to say? Oh my god, you're embarrassing me.
Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which the case is built.
Uh-huh. But that premise may be wrong.
Sorry, I said premise. His premise.
It's fine,
What?
he's acting weird. What?
I'm drinking. Okay, I'm slurring. I don't know words.
If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
Reconciled.
Reconciled. Okay. You know, quid pro quo. You help me, I help you. Alright?
What inconsistency, counsel?
The defendant's gloves, my lord. Oh, I didn't want to expect that one, did you? Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Can I finish? Can I
No.
finish?
No, hold on. Yet you know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gorier remains.
Are we ejecting right now? The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes. The testimony remains unchanged.
Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, the memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. You like that for play? It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands. Both of them. I don't know.
And who was this third party?
I don't know, okay? We'll get there when we get there. Obviously, the true culprit. This is not my objection theme.
No. Extraordinary. Order! What exactly are you, postulating?
He asked me!
The postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witness clearly stated that they saw the accused.
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Yes. Top of their hats were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though.
Lady first? Yes, that's right. Both gents are most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. Yeah, if you got a hat, you got a hat.
Particular style of hats did the gentleman sport, Mr. First?
I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter? Huh.
The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin.
How can you be sure? Because I said
Because
so.
if there had been, the accused Mr. McGilded would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the fact. Well, we're working with a very,
Have you seen McGilded? Just saying, just asking.
Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more, preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it.
Order! This is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what do you say, Counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what ground? As you suspect, he will have already made a false statement to the police.
But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely?
Agnes McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out that the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel of the defense, what is your opinion?
Sexy.
My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? Yeah, demand his testimony. Go ahead, man.
Leave well alone?
Huh? Did you choose leave well enough alone?
Leave well alone. No, I didn't.
Okay.
Nah, he's gotta testify. I'm lost.
The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand.
Homie.
In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Yes, I need a little time to consider this.
If you may ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say.
Get the man out here, I say.
It would be utterly logical not to hear his testimony.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things in the game.
Get her done.
Hearing what the patron of my favourite little park has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Okay.
Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once.
Man. Now maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. I think to be continues is after one cross-examination. I think. Right?
I believe so. Let proceedings be resumed. Because McGilda's gonna do his whole thing, and then, yeah, he's gonna... Does Gina come in?
I believe so, after...
Oh, that's gonna be real long.
I mean, no, it's... Because they do the to be continued, and then she comes in afterwards. I think that's what it is.
Oh. Have you been listening to the discourse of the day?
I wish. What does this guy sound like?
I don't know.
To be sure I have, my lord. Give me a second, I'll figure it out. Judge. Psst.
Wait, no. Sorry. There are now two matters to which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin, as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person had indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police?
God, no, 'tis not of my nature to hide anything at all.
Just answer the questions, please.
Voluptuous.
The truth of the matter is I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all or keep me mouth shut? Tell us what Mr. McGill did. Man.
Full figure.
The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's Tool?
It's true.
Oh, hell yeah. Aye, 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You... What? Oh, I got my next word ready for Barak.
Bestie.
No, Magnus Gilded. The convenient cause can't save you now.
I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Seeks. I'm sure we wanted to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you.
Which was?
Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and not in any way involved, you see.
What?
Thick.
If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have presumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her out into this here courtroom just like myself. I can't fucking read. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. This dude's speechless. I don't know what to say.
Who has this young child of whom you speak?
That I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since. Can you let me finish?
No.
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Reno's got shot to death in London.
Ah!
Fire! There's a fire!
It's
no use!
Get him! It's no use!
What is going on?
Be careful, Mr. Naruto. Cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus.
Secure these.
I hereby call for call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
This is just a normal day in London with all the smog. It just looks like that. We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. And there it is. To be continued.
Yeah, he was like in the middle of just talking. It's just, Gina, fire the rockets.
Fire them. I'm giving you my signal, my coordinates. Where did I save?
Do it.
Well,
Do it.
there you go.
We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. It's much shorter than I remember, honestly.
Yeah, we're like, I think, at the quarter mark. Well, the last quarter of the trial at this point.
Yeah.
Did you stop, by the way, or you...
I did stop, yeah.
You did? Okay. Well, that was fun. Wait, how do I...